Okay, before we start, you guys know today's Chof Ches Nissan. But everything's a shkocha pratis. Chof Ches Nissan means the koyach of Nissan. Now Nissan itself comes from the word Nes. Nissan is called the Cheder, and the Rebbe always quotes the Gemara that says if you have a dream, and you dream a word in your dream with the letter Nun, you should know that miracles, Nisim, are going to happen to you. If you dream a word with two Nuns, the Gemara says, Nisi Nisim Nasalei. Miracles and miracles. Miracles and wonders are going to happen. The Rebbe said many, many times that Nisim, not only does it have two Nuns, but it begins with a Nun and ends with a Nun. So the whole word of Nisan is the concept of Nisim. And therefore, it's more Shliach for Mashiach to come. Mashiach can come anytime. But our Chazal tell us, B'Nisan Nigalo, B'Nisan Asidin Nigoel. When Mashiach comes, Mashiach is going to come in the month of Nisan. And that doesn't mean only in the month of Nisan, but it's more Shliach to come in the month of Nisan than the rest of the year. And therefore, we need to do our part, especially now, when we have the koyach of Nisan, to be able to do whatever we can to bring Mashiach. Now, before I tell you a little bit about Techiyas HaMesim, which is the ultimate goal and ultimate purpose of Mashiach, but let's take for 2 minutes and discuss what is this whole concept and purpose of Mashiach? What is this Mashiach all about? And in fact, we know that the Rambam concludes his entire Sefer with the halachas of Mashiach, because that's the ultimate purpose of why Hashem created the world. When you build a building, when you build a house, you build it for a reason. There's a reason why you build it. You want to live in it. You build an office building because you want to work in it. Hashem created the world. Hashem has a reason why He created the world. And everybody knows, I'm sure you learn Chassidus, you learn Cheder. Hashem wanted a dira b'tachtonim. Hashem wanted a place where He can live and reveal Himself as He is, because when you're home, that's the real behavior, the way you behave. When you're outside in the street, you have to act a certain way. But when you're home, that is the way you really are. That's the way you really act. That's the real you. And Hashem wants the world that Hashem is going to be able to reveal Himself as He wants to be, which is the coming of Mashiach. But that itself is not the goal, because the ultimate purpose of Mashiach's coming is Techiyas HaMesim. When all the people that are buried in the ground, all the neshamas that were in bodies and they passed away, they're all going to get up for Techiyas HaMesim. And it says in Chassidus that the Avis and Moshe Rabbeinu are waiting 3,000 years in Gan Eden. Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov and Gan Eden are over 3,000 years. And what are they waiting for? For Techiyas HaMesim, that they're going to be able to come back in a body. So there's a very interesting article, so to speak, that the Rebbe wrote before he became Rebbe. And the Rebbe explained in great detail what's going to happen at Techiyas HaMesim. Who's going to get up? Where are you going to get up? How are you going to get up? When are you going to get up? And it's fascinating the way the Rebbe gathers opinions from all over the place, from Gemara, from Medrash, from Zohar, from Mefarshim, from Rishonim, from Achreinim. It's a beautiful article. We're not going to be able to cover all of it, but just to mention a few of the interesting points that the Rebbe speaks about the whole purpose of Techiyas HaMesim and how it's going to be. Now we know Mashiach's coming. Okay, so when is Techiyas HaMesim going to happen? So the Gemara says Techiyas HaMesim is going to happen 40 years after the coming of Mashiach. So Mashiach's coming today. 40 years from now is going to be Techiyas HaMesim. But the Rebbe explains that it's not exactly what it means. What it means is, by the end of 40 years, everybody that was buried in the ground is going to get up for Techiyas HaMesim. But the Rebbe brings down that tzaddikim, as soon as Mashiach comes, tzaddikim are going to get up right away. In fact, the Rebbe explains this point in a different place with a very interesting contradiction. We know it says in the Medrash, Moshe hu goel Rishon, hu goel Acharin. Moshe Rabbeinu took us out of Mitzrayim, and Moshe Rabbeinu is going to take us out of this Golus. So all the Mefarshim ask a very simple question. Who's taking us out of Golus? Mashiach. What tribe did Mashiach come from? Yehuda. Which tribe does Moshe Rabbeinu come from? So how can Moshe be the first Redeemer and the last Redeemer? How can Moshe Rabbeinu be Mashiach if Moshe Rabbeinu is a Levi? And we know Mashiach is coming from Beis David, which is from Shevet Yehuda. And there's many different answers to the question. One simple answer is, it doesn't mean physically Moshe Rabbeinu. It means the neshama of Moshe Rabbeinu is going to come into the body of Mashiach also, and he's going to redeem us. But the Rebbe uses this for in a different answer. The Rebbe answers it differently. The Rebbe answers because as soon as Mashiach comes, the tzaddikim are going to get up right away. So the second Mashiach comes, Moshe Rabbeinu is going to get up. Techiyas HaMesim. And Moshe Rabbeinu, together with Mashiach, will take the Yidden out of Golus. So when the Gemara says that Techiyas HaMesim is 40 years after the coming of Mashiach, it doesn't mean that's when it's going to start. It means that's when it's going to end. Now, where's everybody going to get up? People are going to get up. They're going to become alive again. Where? Where are they going to do it? In America, in China, in South America. So it says that the Mason, everybody's going to get up in Eretz Yisrael. Everybody's going to get up in Eretz Yisrael. So the question is, those people that are buried in America, how are they going to be able to get up in Eretz Yisrael? How are they going to get Techiyas HaMesim in Eretz Yisrael? So it says that there's going to be underground tunnels taking everybody from the place they're buried to Eretz Yisrael, and then they're going to get up in Eretz Yisrael. And it says tzaddikim are going to go in tunnels that are painless, that they will not have any pain, they will not suffer. Other people that are not so great might have to suffer a little bit in the trip, in the underground tunnel that they go to Eretz Yisrael. But the bottom line is, everybody is going to be getting up in Eretz Yisrael, not in the place where they are. Who's getting up? Who's getting up for Techiyas HaMesim? Huh? Everybody. How do you know that? How do you know? No, tell me from something you said, today's Monday, 2 days ago in Shul. Shabbos afternoon, you were supposed to say something. Pirkei Avos. How does Pirkei Avos? What's the opening mission that we use for Pirkei Avos? Kol Yisrael, Yesh Lahem Chelek L'Olam Haba. Every Jew, and there's certain people the Mishnah says will not get up, but in Kabbalah it says they're also going to get up. So every single Jew is going to get up in Techiyas HaMesim without any problem. Now the question is like this. Here's a very interesting question. We know in Kabbalah it says that neshamas can come down a few times. It's called Gilgul, Reincarnation. The neshamas come down a few times, right? So let's say our neshamas, by the way, it says are used. We don't have new neshamas. Now, if Rebbe had a new neshama, whatever that means. But we have used neshamas. So let's say our neshama was down already 3 times. And we're the 3rd time. Okay, now Techiyas HaMesim happens. Which body is getting up?
Like this one person says that it's going to go in the greatest person.
In the
greatest person.
Yeah.
And the other one says it's going to divide.
So who's getting up?
I think it's the one who says...
Okay, you're right. There are opinions, very good. There are opinions that say which body is going to get up? The best one, the best behaved body, the one that did the most Torah mitzvahs. But the Rebbe answers a different answer, which was just mentioned also. And the Rebbe writes that part of the neshama is going to go into each of the bodies, and because part of the neshama has the whole neshama, so the Rebbe learns that every single Jew is going to get up. And believe it or not, you'll be able to meet the guy whose body you were in last time. You're going to be able to meet them, say Shalom Aleichem, how your life was in the past time, and you'll be able to verbring very interestingly. They're going to have name tags. I don't know. Trust me. I'll tell you when it happens, we're going to know. I promise you.
You'll have a feeling.
A feeling. Well, you know what? It's called a soulmate. You know what a soulmate is? The soul that came down in different bodies, your real soulmate. You're going to know who it is. Okay, next. Now, what happens if a person passed away sick? How are they going to, what's going to happen when they get up? So it says that the way they passed away, that's the way they're going to get up. Which means, if they passed away sick, they're going to get up sick, but right away they're going to become healthy. If a person, let's say, was blind, Chas v'Shalom, and they passed away being blind, they're going to get up Techiyas HaMesim. The second they get up, they're going to get up blind and right away be healed. But you know, the world says an interesting thing. This is not from the Rebbe. The world says an interesting thing. That when Mashiach comes, everybody's going to get better except? No. Who's going to get better? A Meshuggah. Why? Because a person, Mashiach comes, he's going to say, Mashiach have a stomach ache. Mashiach will give him a bracha, get better. A person says, my headache, Mashiach will give him a bracha, get better. A Meshuggah is going to come, he thinks everybody else is crazy. He's going to come to Mashiach and says, should I give you a bracha that you should be normal? He's not going to bother asking Mashiach for a bracha. So he's not going to get healthy. But this is not what the Rebbe says. This is what the world says. Okay. Now, what? Was they what? Okay, that's a very good question. I don't want to get too close into it, but let me just tell you something.
What's the question?
The question was, God forbid if somebody was, let's say, cut in half when they died, or I'm going to mention, today, even though we don't celebrate it because you're not allowed to do it in Nissan, today is what's called Yom HaShoah, Holocaust Memorial Day, okay? So the question is asked, by the way, the Rebbe doesn't talk about it here, but it is, one second, it is mentioned in Svarim, a very simple question. Those people that were burnt, Chas v'Sholem, by the Nazis in Mashmam, right? How are they going to get Techiyas HaMesim? Because Techiyas HaMesim is going to be from the loose bone. You heard the loose bone?
Yeah.
And soon we're going to discuss where the loose bone, there's three opinions where the loose bone is. We're going to discuss soon where the loose bone is, but the bottom line is, there's a bone, or whatever it is, we'll soon see, that Hashem is going to resurrect. You know, that bone still exists. It never disintegrates. It will always be there. And Hashem will take that bone and then resurrect the person from that bone. So the question is, people that were burned, Chas v'Sholem, not on their own will, but people that were burned by the Nazis, by the evil people, Yimach Shmam. So the question, how do they get up? And the answer is very simple. Hashem could do everything. Okay? Hashem could take the ashes of a person that was burned by Goyim and resurrect it and rebuild it. Hashem could do everything. It says people that on their own decide what's called in English to be cremated. That means they don't want to get buried, they want to get burnt after they die. It says in Halacha, those people don't get up for Techiyas HaMesim because they chose not to be put into the ground and they chose not to be part of Techiyas HaMesim. Even then, there are many times that they're going to get up anyway, depending if they wanted to, if they didn't want to, but that's not for now. Yes?
Is it also when you said that what the
Yeah, if you die as a man, you're getting up as a man. You're not changing to a woman. But the way, The way, but let me explain something to you. We didn't get there yet. After Techiyas HaMesim, we're going to live forever. So age won't matter. Huh? What will we age? No. No. Who was the first one? Let's see who knows this. Who was the first one in Cheder to age? Why? Good, very good. Who was the first one to get sick? Good, very good. 1 second. So, because age only matters if you live to a certain amount, you have to be older or younger. But if you're going to be living forever, age really doesn't matter. So is that going to be older or younger? Because if you think about it, if somebody's parent, let's say, passed away at 50, and the child passed away at 70, so the child, when he gets up Techiyas HaMesim and the parent gets up Techiyas HaMesim, it's not that the child is going to be older than the parent. That's something which doesn't sound too good. But then age really won't matter. 1 second. Age really won't matter because we live forever. Now this, what?
Let's say you pass away at a strong, would you get up and stay for the session?
If you passed away, what?
30.
Again, that technicality I don't know, but everybody's going to get up. We're going to live forever, so age won't matter. We're all going to be fine. Now the question is like this. There's one, and a few more questions. Okay. Now just to discuss a little bit of this loose bone. Okay. Now, one opinion says the loose bone is in the spine. Some people say, you know the bone on the back of your head where the kesher of the tefillin touches? The back? Some people say, not in the neck, the back of the head. Some people say that's where the loose bone is, and some people say it's at the bottom of the spine. So there's three opinions that Rebbe brings down. One opinion says it's in the spine, some say it's in the back of the head where you put the knot of the tefillin, and the third opinion is it's the bottom of the spine. Now, let me just mention a very interesting question. Those people that are living at the time of Techiyas HaMesim, what's going to happen to them? So it's very interesting. There's a few answers to this question. The question is, what's going to happen to all the people that are alive at the time of Techiyas HaMesim? And the simple answer is, like you guys said, that everybody is going to die for a second, because it says, Afar Atav Afar Tashuf. And not only that, the purpose of death is to stop the evil that we have within us, and that's not for now, it's too long to get into, which was the purpose why after Cheder Tzadas, Hashem decreed death into the world to remove the evil that we get on ourselves by sinning. But there's a very interesting answer from the Rebbe in the Sikha. The Rebbe says, you don't necessarily have to physically die. The Rebbe says you can fulfill dying or going back to the ground by v'nafshi ka'afar lakol tihiyah. If you have humility, if you have bittul, if you're humble, that you treat yourself like earth, meaning you don't hold yourself in great esteem, you don't have an ego, you don't have gaiva. So then that bittul of during your lifetime, v'nafshi ka'afar lakol tihiyah, the Rebbe says in the Sikha, that will be considered as if you died. And therefore you won't need to actually die. Yes? What? I didn't hear you.
Arim Nanishmaya, or Ani Varecha Velachamar.
Arum and Anishmaya, a cloud or a donkey?
The eagle.
Or eagle.
The eagle, well, the pasuk in the Nil says, Aru imananan nishmaya doesn't mean an eagle. It means on the clouds of the heaven. And another pasuk says, Ani reicha balachamar. Right? So the Gemara asks that question, by the way, in Sanhedrin. The Gemara asks, it's a very interesting topic in itself, by the way. Because the Gemara says, one pasuk says Mashiach is coming, a poor man on a donkey. And another place says, Mashiach's coming on the clouds. So which is it? So the Gemara answers, if the Jews bring Mashiach by meriting through their good deeds, Mashiach's going to come on the clouds. If the Jews don't merit, then Mashiach is coming on a donkey. The same thing, then one of the Haftarahs, one of the Nevi'im says the pasuk, Be'ita Achishana. Be'ita means Mashiach is coming in his time. Achishana means Hashem's going to make him come sooner. So the Gemara asks, this pasuk contradicts itself. One pasuk says Mashiach is coming on time, and another pasuk says he's coming quicker. So the Gemara says again the same thing. If the Jews merit, Mashiach will come earlier. If the Jews don't merit, then he's going to come when he has to come. And the same thing, the Rebbe uses this as one of the answers on another question. Who's building the third Beis HaMikdash? Who's building the third Beis HaMikdash? Huh? Mashiach. That's what the Rambam writes. And what does Rashi hold? That you're not going to. Rashi in Sukkah says that Hashem is building the Beis HaMikdash. Right? So who's building the Beis HaMikdash? Hashem or us? So there's a lot of answers that the Rebbe answers on this question. But one of the answers the Rebbe gives, if we merit, Hashem's going to build the Beis HaMikdash. If we don't merit, we're going to have to build the Beis HaMikdash. And obviously a Beis HaMikdash that Hashem builds is much holier than the Beis HaMikdash we built. What? Mashiach is a human being. The Rebbe says the halacha is like the Rambam, that Mashiach is a human being. The era of Mashiach is a time. The era of Mashiach. And even then the Rebbe learns there's two periods of time when Mashiach comes. When Mashiach first comes, everything in the world is going to be normal. No miracles. We're going to have a Beis HaMikdash, we're going to bring karbanis, but everything is normal. After Techiyas HaMesim is when all the miraculous things of the Zev with the Garzev and Keves, and all the miraculous things are going to happen after Techiyas HaMesim. But the Rebbe learns the first period when Mashiach comes, everything is normal except peace and the Beis HaMikdash. Mashiach is going to be a human being. And the Gemara says he could be from the living, he could be from the dead. That's what the Gemara says. But the Rambam says it's a living person. Yeah. How are we going to do the mitzvah of respecting your elders? I'll tell you then. Because we won't have a Yetzer Hara, we're going to respect the parents properly. Not like now. But all the mitzvahs. Okay, that ask your Rebbe about it's too complicated. Yes.
Miscarriages also
the people that the neshamis, it's a very good question. The neshamis that came down in miscarriages, it is brought down, are going to get up Techiyas HaMesim, healthy and proper babies. Yeah. Yeah. And then they're gonna grow. Whatever. What?
When a baby's born, if there's no aging, then how will it get older then?
It's going to grow and get bigger, but it's not going to be that we're going to be, again, aging means how many years you lived and how many years you have to go. If we're going to live forever.
And also as far as the bar mitzvah, as far as the bar mitzvah, they won't be aging.
No, they'll be aging how many years they're living, but I said aging is not going to matter if you live forever. Will there be bar mitzvah when Mashiach comes? Probably the question is in a different way than it is now. I don't mean the party and the celebration. I mean because not all mitzvahs are going to be done the same way that we're doing them now. It says mitzvahs b'teilus la'asud lavei, but Chassidus explains it doesn't mean, God forbid, we're not going to be davening and learning and doing mitzvahs because Cheder is eternal. It means it's going to be done in a different way than we do it now. So how is bar mitzvah going to be? I haven't seen anywhere clearly. I'm sure you're still going to be able to have a party with a band and get all the gifts and all the svarim and all the money. But it'll be a much bigger presence.